What you got for me today? 168.
168.
All right.
I was trying to look up something that I remembered about Africa.
Okay.
Have you heard of like this green belt or green wall initiative?
Green wall. It sounds familiar, but I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. Why did the internet suddenly decide that it doesn't want to work correctly?
Okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to pull up the article and I'm like, so it was originally launched in 2007, but it's recently been getting a lot of attention because so many more trees have been planted. But basically, the Great Green Wall is the idea to plant so many trees all across Africa, like through a ton of different countries, to stop the progression of, there's a word for it, but it's like desertification, basically, where like the ground dries out, the air dries out.
Oh yeah, if there's not enough like plant life to help sustain it.
Yeah, so they've introduced this wall to help protect fertile land. It says it'll create 100 million hectare. Is it hectares or hectares? How do you say it?
Depends on if you're in like a space film or not. Hectares, it just sounds like you're going to a different planet.
Okay, well,
Hectares
of degraded land.
Hectares.
It'll help
Hectares.
sequester 250 million tons of carbon and help create 10 million green jobs by 2030. But basically, they're going to grow more fertile land. It'll create economic opportunities for the youngest population. It'll create food security for millions that are going hungry. It'll also create climate resilience in the place where apparently temperatures rise faster there in these countries in Africa, faster than anywhere else on the planet. And it'll also create basically a new world wonder. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, there was also a couple. It is really cool that they're trying that. There was also a couple. I think it was in South America somewhere that planted like 1 million trees or close to like millions of trees.
Yeah.
And they got, I think their land got bought and like named as like a heritage something or other, like protected area.
Oh yeah, we talked about that a few episodes ago.
I don't think it was a few, but maybe.
I remember talking about it because it was the Chilean president. He was leaving, and so his last act in office was to name this gigantic area of land as like a wildlife refuge, which is incredible because I guess it holds, I think it said 10% of the world's biodiversity in this area alone. So that's really cool. I've just been looking at positive news because sometimes I know I'd be looking down on the dark side of things, but
Sometimes. Just sometimes.
And then, one thing I thought was so cool, this little coffee shop, it called Little Joy Coffee. They have this best-selling latte recipe. Mm-hmm. And they were like, yeah, anybody can steal this recipe. It's awesome. And so all these other coffee shops have taken this recipe and are selling them now. And
Interesting.
The owner said, if all independent shops do better, we all do better. It's in Minnesota. And it's a raspberry Danish latte. That does sound really good. I would drink that.
Okay.
Right? Like, it's made with house-made raspberry syrup, whole milk, a double shot of espresso, and fresh cream cheese cold foam. It is
okay. All right.
Creates a velvety, fruity, caffeinated beverage. I kind of want to go to Minnesota now. But just looking at little joys like that makes me happy.
Fruity, tangy flavor and become a symbol of the latte travel trend.
I just like I'm on the Today website. They just share a bunch of good positive news.
That is cool though.
Like this one, woman raises $1 million for a 78-year-old DoorDash driver. But after this, he said, they set my wife and I up so we can live a more comfortable life, but that he plans to continue delivery driving just because he likes it.
That's always nice too, because I see a lot of stories like that where they're like, I just enjoy doing it. Like, okay. I like enjoy meeting people. I saw a video the other day of a guy getting into an Uber in probably in the UK somewhere, or a taxi in the UK, I guess. And the guy sitting in the back seat goes, what's your name? And the guy in the front seat tells him, he goes, I thought it was you. He turns around and like fully looks at him for the first time. He's like, no way. And they're like, I haven't seen you in like 20 years. How you been? Like, it was like, oh, reconnecting over a little ride. I'm like, that's fun.
That is really cool. I feel like I would see somebody and be like, oh no.
From 20 years ago.
Sometimes you just gotta like look on the bright side of life, you know?
For anyone who's watching this is your first episode, just go back and watch any other episode and just see how she has not lived up to this mantra that she's presenting to you right now.
I said sometimes.
Just pick any episode, any one of them. Just watch through one other episode and you'll be like, this is a different person. This is...
I think my meds and stuff have been working really well.
That's good.
Okay, though, small rant about my doctor. This man will not stop sending one of my prescriptions through. That's for like emergency anti-anxiety, you know? And I've told him over and over and over to please stop sending it to Walgreens. I have an entire bottle that I have not used in maybe a year was the last time I needed this. Mm-hmm. And again, he sent it to them. So I'm going to have to go up there and piss off the Walgreens people because every time that they fill a prescription they don't need to fill, they're like, why didn't you tell us? And I'm like, I fucking told my doctor. You know? So that's going to be a fun conversation.
Yeah, it will be. I'm just looking at odd news and things like that. And I read this. It reminded me of a story that I read the other day where I think it's Colombia just voted to kill a bunch of cocaine hippos. So hippos, not native to Colombia, were brought there by Pablo Escobar.
Fucking asshole. Like, hippos are awful.
And since he's no longer around, right, there have been reports of like over 180 that have just bloomed, and they have no predators in Colombia that reduce their population. So they're basically going around and just like killing manatees and like things in the water and like
I love manatees.
Other fish species and like wrecking ecosystems. So they just voted to basically, I think they said cull like 60 of them, like get rid of a bunch of them, right? To slow the spread. They're not talking about wiping them out entirely, just slow it down because there's no predators.
Population control, yeah.
Right. And the amount of backlash that they're getting from like animal rights activists is crazy. And the people are like, I've seen a lot of them basically saying like, no, it's not animal rights. Like it's way more costly to try and relocate them somewhere else to a place that they don't know about and that they can't survive in. But if we keep them here, they're literally like destroying the ecosystem. You know, like this is not.
Yeah. I looked it up. So apparently adult hippos have virtually no natural predators. But lions, crocodiles, and hyenas occasionally prey on calves, sick individuals, and rarely adults. Mm-hmm. It said humans are their primary threat, while elephants and rhinos can kill them in territorial conflicts.
Also, they're not like walking through the streets and just shooting them. Like what they approved was sedating them, giving them lethal injection, and then burying them.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I assumed. Like, are people thinking they're just out there whacking off hippos?
I think that people, when they read like they're gonna go take care of population control, they just think they're just like, saddle up, boys, we got the riples, and everybody's like on a horse, just like with fucking rifles. Just, I'll get this one.
No, I mean, I was pretty much picturing euthanasia. Okay, but so this reminds me, the hippos. I watched that movie Thrash yesterday that's on Netflix that's been going viral because it's just like a cheesy thriller movie, right? I love it. There's one part where Phoebe Divner, she has to, like, she gives birth to her baby and then she grabs a fucking, like a piece of wood and she goes, Mommy's here. She just has to go fight some fucking sharks. But the one thing that you reminded me of, there's this guy, he's from Mozambique. And he studies sharks in the movie. And
yeah, of course. There's always a scientist.
Well, he's trying to go rescue his niece who was alone while he was at work on the bay, you know? But one of the guys that is helping him get up the place to go get his niece asks him why he decided to study sharks. And he talks about how when he lived in Africa, there was a hippo that tried to attack him. And like he thought he was going to die. He was so scared. And then he said a great white shark came up and like destroyed the hippo, and he was like, that was the only time I've seen fear in a hippo's eyes. The fuck? But this other guy goes, so what did you do? Did you go back to your hut and like grab a stick or like? And the guy goes, no, I went back to my house, called the police, and had a pizza. It's fucking Mozambique, not he said like animal something, you know. But he was like, I thought it was so funny, I laughed out loud. Like, yeah, it's Africa, not the fucking Jungle Book, I think is what he said.
Yeah, like what do we...
I always think that's funny. It's like I saw a video a while ago, I've already told you about it before, but about these women who everybody always asks them questions because they live in Africa, and they're like, how do you get food in Africa? Do you have like grocery stores and stuff? And this woman, she's sitting there against a tree eating a bag of like Cool Ranch Doritos, and she's like, no, we have to go and fight them ourselves and like attack these animals and stuff. And the whole time she's just eating a bag of chips. Like, I don't know. I guess it's probably by design that they make people think that other people in countries are like savages and don't have modern things. But like, no, they're just people. They just live in a different country, you know?
Yeah.
I always think that's funny. I still want to know what could kill a hippo.
What can kill a hippo? Fucking disease, old age, sleeping too much. I don't know.
Crocodiles are the main animal that will fuck a hippo up, apparently.
Yeah, that makes sense. Probably just because of their bite force and like tearing off legs or something. I don't know.
Crocodiles are a perfect animal. They haven't changed in a long time.
I'm reading more into these hippos in South America. Apparently, a judge in Ohio in 2021 ruled that the hippos were interested persons under U.S. law, making them the first non-human animals to be granted legal personhood in an American court. This decision carries no weight in Colombia.
Yeah, why would it?
And I was like, wait, yeah, why? Okay. I think it's because the hippos were originally bought from a Dallas zoo and shipped to Colombia for Pablo Escobar.
How long ago?
They were originally shipped down there in the 80s. So they've been there for like 40 years. 1981.
There's a Yahoo article that says the rise and fall of Colombia's infamous cocaine hippos. So why do they call them that? Just because of Pablo Escobar, or like?
Yeah, they're not like on cocaine. It's literally like they were brought here for cocaine reasons. He bought a male and 3 females, and in 1981, kept them in an artificial lake alongside his pet rhino and elephant.
I'm sure that caused no problems whatsoever.
In 93, the rhino, when he was killed, the rhinos and elephants were relocated. The hippos, which can weigh up to 3 tons, somehow escaped to the nearby river, Colombia's largest waterway. The hippos became known locally and later internationally as Escobar's cocaine hippos. None of these hippos have ever been observed actually doing cocaine. Thank you for specifying.
I was really worried. Like, how are they going to get them to rehab, you know? Okay, this article goes...
Which is unfortunate because in America there are cocaine bears that star in their own movies and they could potentially team up. I love whoever wrote this article.
This one says, hippos are not small creatures. Oh, I didn't know that.
How fascinating.
They have some really good pictures of hippos in this article, though. Like, look at this one.
Yeah. Dude, when I was in Africa, we got off like the I don't know what to call it, a bus, but like the safari jeep kind of thing, right? And it was in this little dirt like area where they had enough space to turn around, so they stopped there. And then we got out and he's telling us about like the animals that we can see. And then he's like, you can, walk around and take pictures, whatever. He goes, there's a line of rocks on the ground though. Don't go over the rocks. And we went, why not? And he goes, and we were like, the rocks were probably 10, 20 feet away from us. Not very far, right? And they were probably like 40, 50 yards from the river edge. He goes, if you go over the rocks and a hippo gets mad, the hippo will get to those rocks faster than you can get back to the bus. And we're like, oh, okay.
How fast can hippos go?
Dude, it's fast as fuck. I think it's like almost like 40 miles an hour. Like they run fast as fuck.
This says they could go up to 19, but I feel like that's a little low.
Nah, I don't know.
This other website says hippos can run at a speed of up to 30 miles per hour over short distances.
Yeah.
Oh, no, 30 kilometers per hour, so 19 miles per hour.
Okay, so even still, 19 miles an hour. Like, I don't know if you've ever set a treadmill to 19.
Wait, like, is that what the numbers mean? Like,
yeah, that's miles per hour. Like, I do long distance at like 6.8 usually.
I was gonna say the fastest I go is usually like 6.5, 7, because at that point my legs physically cannot keep up with me.
Yeah, that's miles per hour. That's what that is. They run 19 on a treadmill.
Damn,
like go to a high most regular treadmills won't go that high. Like you'll need like a high speed like sprinter's treadmill to do like that speed.
What's like?
Yeah, 19 miles an hour is gone. Like you.
So let's see how fast. So Usain Bolt's top speed was nearly 28 miles per hour.
Yeah, but
so Usain Bolt could probably outrun a hippo.
Yeah, but that was like 100 meters, I think. Right?
Yeah, for 100 meter and 200 meter sprints.
Mm-hmm.
His 100 meter record from the 2009 Berlin World Championship remains unbroken. Also, how cool is it to be a runner with the last name Bolt? Like,
most commercial treadmill models will go somewhere between 12 to 15 on their high end. Like you can't even.
And I think hippos are kind of like crocodiles and alligators in the sense that if you can't see them, you're already fucked. You know, like
hippo. I mean, you'll see them because they don't breathe underwater. They sit on the surface. Well,
yeah, but
kind of
don't they just sit with like their nose and head above sometimes, and then you can't see them depending on like what surrounds them?
If it's like that picture you just showed me where there's a lot of vegetation, it would be very difficult to see them. Yeah, but a majority of the time they'll just sit there, and you'll be able to see their heads poking out.
The thing about the manatees makes me really upset because manatees are still endangered, I'm pretty sure, and they're like the most gentle animals. Like, they want nothing more than to play with people, and people aren't allowed to touch them because of their conservation status. But manatees will come up and, like, hug you and shit, and people are just like, there's videos of swimmers being like, it wasn't me, the manatee came up to me, I didn't touch it.
Yeah, right.
But manatees are such sweet animals. Fuck those hippos. Hippos actually can't swim.
Nope. They just kind of bounce off the bottom of rivers.
How fast are they in the water, do you think? Like, are they faster or slower?
I think they're a bit slower. Yeah, they're slower.
But so are we is the problem.
5 to 8 miles per hour. It's still fast in the water. A lot of times, like if you go back and watch, what is it? Tarzan, like the animated one, you'll see them like sitting in the water, like, and then when they move, they literally like bounce underwater.
Oh yeah, I remember that scene.
Yeah. Like they go underwater to like eat food and stuff off the bottom, and then they'll poke up. But then they weren't swimming. They don't swim.
So, what do you think the most dangerous animal in the world is?
Most dangerous animal? Mm-hmm. What are you categorizing as dangerous? Like kills the most people? Mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Mosquitoes
are the most dangerous because they cause 725,000 to 1 million deaths annually by transmitting diseases such as malaria, dengue fever, and Zika.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's always mosquitoes, dude. Okay. I don't think there's any positive effect that mosquitoes have.
No.
Also, for anyone knowing, if you wear, was it royal blue? They're attracted to that color. So, like, if you're in an area that has more mosquitoes, don't wear blue.
I guess wear red. Every animal hates red.
I don't know.
So the on like actual animals though, hippos are number 1 or number 10 at 500 deaths per year.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Elephants are number 9, also 500 deaths per year. That makes sense. They're big, and they're mostly gentle, but elephants will fuck you up.
Yeah, I think I think it's mainly just because people don't understand, like on safaris and things, like they charge at vehicles, and if you're just standing there like trying to take a picture, they're not gentle, they're territorial. They'll try to kill you, like, or at least stampede over you. Like,
Number 8 is saltwater crocodiles at 1,000 deaths per year.
I did also read that elephants are one of the few species we've observed that have names for each other, and they've the way they found that out is they recorded like sections of like grumbles and like like vibrations that elephants make, and they've identified. They don't know what they mean,
Yeah.
but they've identified certain patterns that were repeated, and when they would like play it for a group of elephants, it would always be the same elephant that would turn around to look and who's calling him.
That's cute. This next picture really grossed me out. Number 7 is Ascaris roundworms. 2,500 deaths per year. I can't stand looking at pictures of worms even. Like, they fucking gross me out. Cannot stand it.
Yeah, the roundworms are bad. Yeah.
Number 6 is scorpions with 2,600 deaths per year.
Makes sense.
I've been stung by a scorpion. It was not my favorite. Mm-hmm. The most lethal scorpion in the world is said to be the Indian red scorpion. Haven't heard of that, but I don't want to.
Nope.
Number 5 is assassin bugs. I've heard of them before, but I don't know anything about them.
I don't either.
They have 10,000 deaths per year. It says they spread disease and death through their bite, and that's why they're named the assassin bug. They spread Chagas disease, a tropical parasitic disease that kills 10,000 people per year. Mm-hmm. They are often called kissing bugs as they tend to bite people's faces when they sleep. Number 4 is the saw-scaled viper at 138,000 deaths per year. It holds the record as the world's most deadly snake in terms of mortality. It's a particularly aggressive species, making it more deadly than the most toxic snake that is shy. Due to its aggressive nature with its potent venom and its presence in highly populated areas, it's a big snake to fear. Wait, hold on. Freshwater snails are number 3.
Yeah.
200 deaths per year.
Pick up 200? What?
200,000 deaths per year, sorry.
I was like, try again. Freshwater snails are crazy. Like, they're not good to pick up.
Apparently, they typically have these really bad parasitic flatworms known as flukes. There are 24,000 different species of flukes, and most of them are parasites to vertebrates and mollusks. A particularly nasty one that the snails have is called schistosoma. It lives and develops within the snail and then is released into the water. Humans get infected from the contaminated fresh water because they can penetrate the skin, which is responsible for a deadly human disease called schistosomiasis. I can't say that word. Also known as snail fever.
Mm-hmm. I think for short, usually it's just like schisto, isn't it?
Yeah. It says after malaria, this is considered to be the most socioeconomically devastating parasitic disease. Number 2, humans. 431 deaths per year. 431,000 deaths per year.
Keep leaving off the end there.
It says, it's a cliche, but aside from mosquitoes, the most deadly animal is ourselves. Homicides account for an estimated 431,000 human deaths a year. Okay, but like, what about like war and stuff? Does that include other people that are like murdered in that kind of situation? Or is it just...
How many people you think are murdered in war? Like, it's not like World War I and II where like millions are dying.
World War I is the most deadly war in history, right?
I think more people died in II, but I could be wrong. But like, you're talking about the entire course of like 4 years.
Oh yeah, you're right. World War II is the deadliest conflict in human history, with an estimated 70 to 85 million fatalities.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Followed by the Mongol conquests, which killed 20 to 60 million people, and the Taiping Rebellion, which killed 20 to 70 million.
Like 85 million people divided by like 4 years of war is 21 million people a year. Like, compared to that, we're doing great with the 470. We're not doing amazing. We could lower that number, definitely, but
It's even crazier when you put it in percentage. World War II resulted in killing off roughly 3 to 4% of the world's global population.
Mm-hmm.
How much was the Black Plague? Because it killed off like a huge
The
portion
Black
of Europe.
Plague killed off like 2/3 of Europe at the time. I also read that most like projections of the world population may be underestimating, because most of what we use to estimate the world's population, like current population, is census data and like satellite mapping with like density algorithms, but it doesn't work as well in like less congested rural areas. So the real estimate of what they are now trying to like account for is off by, they think it's like they're off by like several hundreds of thousands, if not like millions, of how many people are actually alive.
I saw that it said 70. The Black Plague had 70 to 100% fatality rates, depending on the case. I also saw a thing that said everybody alive today has Black Plague DNA or something like that. Oh, yeah. It says not everybody alive has Black Plague DNA, but many people of European descent carry genetic mutations that helped their ancestors survive the 14th century plague pandemic. These genetic adaptations are now linked to a higher risk of modern autoimmune diseases. That makes sense. Like, yeah, you survived, but it says the same genes that protected these people 700 years ago provide stronger immune responses, but can cause autoimmune disorders like Crohn's disease or rheumatoid arthritis. The plague exerted intense immediate pressure on the human genome, which has caused a lasting impact on how our immune systems work. Yeah, that makes sense. Damn, nature, you scary.
That was the end of the thought.
That was my whole thought.
Damn, nature.
I don't know. I think the sickest I've ever been was COVID. Like, had it one time. Do not want to do it again. I would rather have the flu. The flu made me feel like I was dying. COVID, I would have been dead and I wouldn't have even known it. Like when I had COVID, I literally just stayed in bed for like a week straight. I wasn't watching movies, playing games. Like, I was sleeping. And I'm never too sick to play video games, okay? Or even like the last time I got sick with that respiratory infection, I just watched K-dramas the whole week, you know? But I still had enough energy
but somehow
to
I watch a lot of anime. Okay.
I had nothing else to do.
Nah, couldn't have.
Besides feel like shit.
Things, research stuff. Nah, not.
I didn't even like eat that week, remember? Like I was mostly having like broth and tea. And then I got a cold a few weeks ago, man. I don't understand. My immune system's never been this bad before.
Yeah, I keep telling you to like go outside, and you're just like, no, I'll hug a cat and feel fine. Like,
yeah, I guess that's true. Well, I think that's about it. Unless you got any other thoughts you want to share with the class.
168.
168.
All right, get out of there.
Before we end, I just wanted to give a shout out to Caleb. Jordan and I appreciate you for listening and watching every single week, and we hope that you know how much you are appreciated. So, shout out to Caleb. Woo!
It felt really heartfelt, and then right at the end, it was just like, nah.
That is heartfelt.
It was regular birthday right at the end. That's what it felt like.
No, I was just trying not to be too loud since we're like in the apartment. So I was like excited, but like, woo, you know? What?
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's how it felt. It was radiating this way. The genuineness is.
Okay, but Caleb, you know. We appreciate you. Thank you. All right, that's going to do it for this week's episode of Mindless Prattle. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.